Welcome to Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa. I would like to welcome you each into our kitchen this evening, where I'm going to be doing some pressure canning and being part of a wonderful canning collaboration called March Canning Madness 25. It is hosted by Blackberry Rock Homestead and Lou Ann's Kitchen. Now, this collaboration goes from March 1st all the way to March 31st. This is my first video. I will have a second video coming up as well. I'm looking forward to seeing all the recipes and everything that's going to be going on. And, well, what we're going to be canning up, you read the title right. Yes, I was blessed with over 8 pounds of chicken gizzards. Well, my deep freeze is out of room, and well, I'm gonna can them up. Now, canning up chicken gizzards is not hard to do. Now, also want to stress that I am a feral canner, and I don't follow what the alphabet people have to say. I go by the guidelines, and I keep it safe, and I know how to can. I've been canning way too long. Now, with that being said, once these gizzards are canned, they you can use them to make giblet gravy. You just strain out the juice, put it in so you can make gravy with it, chop up your gizzards. You got a meal there with some gravy. Also, you can strain the broth out of the jar, freeze it back, and you can bread and fry the gizzards. And all you have to do is just fry them to get that golden brown crisp on them. And they are so soft and good, y'all. I love canning gizzards. So, with that being said, let's have some fun, y'all. I know there's going to be quite a few people. Ew, gizzards, gizzards. Well, gizzards is an underrated part of the chicken. When cooked and fixed right, they are absolutely delicious. Now, one thing, make sure everything is cleaned and sanitized. I am cold packing, so my chicken broth here is not hot. My gizzards are good and cold, and my jars are room temperature. So now I know there's plenty of salt in my chicken broth, so I'm not going to add any salt to the jars, but I am going to add some herbs and spices. Wrong one. Okay, and this is garlic powder. Let's see what size it is. 1/4 of a teaspoon. I want 1/4 teaspoon. I'm fixing to make this a whole lot more simple. And I have my lids and my bands already ready. I want a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder in all the jars. Now, if you want to, you can can these in quarts as well if you have a bigger family. It's just me and Junior, and pints will go a long way. And the good thing about the broth that's going to be made in the jar is you won't have to season it when you go to make your gravy. It's already seasoned for you. Okay, that's the garlic powder. We love our garlic. If you're allergic to it or don't like it, you can omit that. And this is dried minced onion. I'm doing a teaspoon per jar. Because when I go to make gravy or something, I can always add more onions if need be. Now, another good addition to this would also be dehydrated celery, thyme, whatever seasonings that you like. You just want to make sure that your seasoning does not have any flour in it. Okay. And that was dehydrated minced onions. Parsley, very important. I love my parsley. And I'm going to be using, yep, that's a teaspoon. Extremely good for digestion. Helps with bad breath. Helps with stomach upset. Also a natural diuretic. You could add oregano inside the jar too if you wanted to. Remember, your food is your medicine. You eat over-processed, nasty food, your health will go downhill. Okay, that's all the seasonings I'm going to add, because in my chicken broth, there is plain chicken broth. There is, I added some turmeric. There is some salt in there. There's garlic in there. It's basically chicken stock. I might as well tell the truth. Okay, now, what you're going to do is take your jar. Now, I have a jar of vinegar, or a little container of vinegar. We'll use that here in a bit. I have rinsed very well my chicken gizzards. I have tried to pick through them best I could to make sure there's no bad pieces. Now, on your chicken gizzards, if you see a dark yellowish green skin, nothing's wrong with the gizzard. That's just the outer skin of the gizzard. Just peel it off. It peels off very easily. And yes, I use a chopstick. I want to make sure I get plenty down in that jar, but I don't want to pack them too tight. I want to leave a little bit of room. I got enough room for one more gizzard. And we're going to want a 1-inch headspace. This is when you want to take your time. Don't do this when you're rushed, because you want to make sure all air bubbles are out. And we're just going to keep working. You could also add some black pepper if you wanted to. That's perfectly fine. Oh, I'm so thankful to be blessed with these chicken gizzards. And of course, being pressure canned, they're going to soften up and they're going to be delicious. And of course, your gizzards will shrink some in the jar, so don't worry about that. I'm going to add one more big old pretty gizzard. We're going to do one more jar. Now I'll go back through. I'm going to double check, debubble them once I get all the jars filled that I can get. Now, me personally, my jars are dry. My spices that's in the jars are dry as well. If I do not use all the jars, I will just put lids and bands on it, because I guarantee you I will be canning something else up, and I pretty much use the same spices and all that I can. And when I see jars that's got the dry spices still in them, I know that that is ready for meat to go in it. And each time you get a ladle of chicken, I might as well call it chicken stock over here, make sure you stir it real good. And you can hear the bubbles coming up from below. Now, of course, if you pack too many gizzards in your jar, just simply take one out. Instead of 1 inch headspace. Okay, I will bring you back once I get all the jars filled, and you never know how many jars you're going to need. I have 12 out here, and I have more that are clean, sanitized, and ready to go if I need them. I will bring you back here in a little bit. Okay, I ended up with 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 jars. Now, rule of thumb for pint jars, each jar should hold a pound of meat. So there's a good chance that there's a pound of gizzards per each jar, which will be wonderful. Now, I'm going to get my little paper towel here. Dip it into my just plain white vinegar. Squeeze some of the excess out, because you don't want vinegar getting down into your jar. It's not going to hurt nothing, but it could easily leave a flavor. Now, my lids do not have to be water soaked anymore, thank gracious. And I just barely put the band on finger tight. Now, you need to pay attention when you wipe your jar rims. Change the position on the paper towel or whatever rag you're using. And you want to use vinegar, because just in case any of the chicken stock or the giblets got on the rim. You want to make sure that's gotten off, and your jars will seal correctly. And I have a 1-inch headspace. I'm so happy to have these gizzards. I know a lot of people don't understand, but gizzards are underrated. They're extremely high in protein. They are flavorful when cooked right. And I am just blessed to have been given these gizzards. And I'm not going to let them go to waste. Waste not, want not. I'll bring you back when I get done. Okay, I have all the rims clean and the lids and bands are on them. Now, you want to make sure you have a 1-inch headspace, because if you have more, your jar will siphon. If you have less, there's a chance that your lid can cave in, and it's never a good thing. You want to make sure. There's a few things that I am absolutely precise on. But now these are ready to go into the pressure canner. Yes, these have to be pressure canned. And I'm going to go get these in the canner, and I'll bring you back when we're over at the canner. See you in a bit. Okay, I have all my jars in my pressure canner, which is a All-American 921. Follow your manufacturer's instructions for your canner. That's one you have to do. You have to follow the instructions. I had 2 inches of water in the bottom of my canner, and I use olive oil, thankfully. That's one thing I love about an All-American canner. You do not have to worry about a rubber seal. And I have to make sure that it is good and oiled so it does not stick. I absolutely love my All-American. Okay, I'm gonna put my lid on. Now, you want to make sure, check your vent. Make sure you can see all the way through it. I'm going to put them just till snug. And then you go back, tighten them down. Alright, I'm going to cut her on and let it rip tater chip. Alright, I'll bring you back here in just a little bit once it comes up to 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 steam and let it vent. I'll show you what it's doing. Bring you back here in a bit. Okay, it has come up to temp. It is venting. I'm going to let it vent for 10 minutes and I'll bring y'all back. Okay, it has been venting for 10 minutes. I'm going to add my weight. Oh, I got to be able to see it. There we go. I'm going to add my weight. And once it comes up, and I keep it at a level 11 pounds of pressure, know what your pressure is supposed to be for your area. If you don't know it, go to the Agricultural Extension Agency and they can help you. Alright, once this gets to a steady 11 pounds, I'll bring y'all back. Okay, I'm at a steady 11 pounds of pressure. So since I'm doing pints, it's going to be 75 minutes. If you're doing quarts, it will be 90 minutes. I'll bring you back as soon as it's done. Okay, 75 minutes. Off goes the heat, and I'm going to let it cool down to zero, depressurize, and then I'll bring y'all back. Okay, she is at 0% pressure. Weight comes off. I'm going to slowly undo the top, take it off, unload it, and I'll be back. Okay, they are all out of the canner. You need to be careful when removing them from the canner. As you can see just how hot those jars are. But I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 beautiful jars of canned chicken gizzards. Now, I quit a while back putting vinegar in my water, so my jars look dirty on the outside. But I found that if you don't put the vinegar in the pressure canner, your lids last a whole lot longer. Alright, be right back. Simple, easy, delicious. That's 9 dinners right there. And I am so beyond thankful for the blessing of these chicken gizzards. You better believe we're going to make good dinners. Or I'm going to make good dinners with them. It's not hard to can, y'all. Once you get over the hurdle of being scared of the pressure canner, it becomes an addiction. And you have to watch yourself because you'll want to can everything. And, well, not everything is meant to be canned. Some of it is horrid. But beside the point, you can do this. If I can do it, you can do it too. Just got to believe in yourself. Start out with water bath canning, progress to pressure canning, or just jump through that hoop and go and do your pressure canning. Follow the instructions on your pressure canner and you'll have it made. And you'll have food to put back in your pantry for when you really, really need it. Everyone, take care. I hope this video encourages you to pressure can chicken gizzards and so on. Gizzards have so much flavor, y'all. And they make easy dinners. Continue to stock your pantry with foods that will nourish and sustain you, not junk crap. Little bit of snack stuff is okay, but you want stuff that's going to sustain you and feed you. Medicinals that will heal you. Protection of all kinds, and above all else, the bare essentials to survive on. Everyone, take care. Stay safe and sound. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and may you each be blessed. Hoot, hoot. Mwah. Love y'all. See you soon.